So today everyone is going to start working towards an insane future star Evo. But before we do get underway with today's video, if you guys are interested, I do offer a daily subscriber trading service over on Twitch, which can get for free of Amazon Prime. All you got to do is click on the top link in the description and subscribe over on Twitch. Again, free of Amazon Prime, if not it's £5, €5. And as of February, I'm also offering additional support to those who are interested over on Patreon, and over there you'll have the ability of messaging me 24/7 during the day with any additional questions, with a few added trading groups in there. An investment that's worked really well as of recently was just yesterday when we recommended buying 90s at 30k on PC and 34k on console, and they're up to 47 on console and 41 on PC, so some really nice investments doing well. So in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be talking about the insane Evo that'll basically be working on towards the I guess this week, or the 2 weeks of Future Stars. We'll also talk a little bit about how Team of the Years are doing, and we'll talk about all the content that's come out in the last 24 hours. So EA has dropped the Future Star Academy, and it's very interesting because it's a bit different than last year. In fact, they've basically just kind of copied the exact same format they decided to go with for Team of the Year, where you pick a player and then you just continuously upgrade that player through the week. Previously, what we did have is we had a set of attackers, and you could get some insane attackers, a set of midfielders, and you get some insane midfielders, and a set of defenders, and you'd have basically one Evo from each position. But this year, what they've done is they've basically released a whole host, but you only get one player. So they've kind of nulled it a little bit from last year, but still the concept's really cool. So basically how the Evo works this year is consistently through the week you're going to be given upgrades for your Evo player, and then you can either choose for them to go down the defensive route, the midfield route, or the forward route. Obviously with midfielders getting more passing, forwards getting more shooting, and defenders getting more defending and physical. So if you, for example, wanted to go and Evo a player that's a cam, you could either go and make them more offensive or defensive. In addition to this, also EA is allowing you to go and choose what playstyles you want them to have and what playstyle pluses you want them to have. You're going to get yourself the choice of 8 normal playstyles and then 2 playstyle pluses. On top of that, you'll also have the chance of choosing 5-star skills or 5-star weak foot. And of course, right at the end, you'll then be able to turn the player into an icon, meaning they get icon chemistry. So this is a really nice concept, and I'm basically anticipating cards to be as good as last year, if not better. The thing is, last year you could achieve these cards within like 3 days, whereas this year it seems like the cards you can achieve, you can go and achieve within 2 weeks. But yeah, last year's cards were insane. I remember this Athena card. It generally would have been priced on the market about 1 to 1.5 million coins, and they gave it to us kind of day one for free. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of what they look like last year. Not the 2 most desirable playstyle pluses, but that's the really cool thing about this year, is you're going to be able to choose the playstyle pluses your player has. But yeah, she ended up with 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot, whereas this year the player's probably going to have 4-star, 4-star, but one of them is going to be 5-star. I imagine so it'll be 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot, or 4-star weak foot, 5-star skills. And yeah, of course they get the icon chemistry, which is massive. So again, this is what we had last year, really nice. Now what did we see? Because this is how they did last year. We did see attackers crash last year, but interesting enough, we didn't really see much of a market impact from the Evo alone. That's because obviously it's only day one of the Evo, and the players that you can produce aren't exactly game breaking. Yes, he can have 8, I think, minor playstyle pluses, but you know, this card's not replacing players in the team now. But by the end of the week, it's going to be a 91 rated, it's going to have 5-star skills, it's going to have 2 playstyle pluses. So yeah, we can imagine there'll be a lot more market impact the later we get on the week. So as a result, you know, I guess there not being any market impact now, but we're anticipating market impact. What sort of market impact do we what sort of market impact do we anticipate? Well, basically, whatever the most popular players are, I'd imagine that position could get harmed the most. So if we go and look at the most popular Evos at the moment, it is by far Nawari. I'm going to have to learn how to pronounce his name by the end of the week. Is the most popular. He's been literally sat the most popular for like the last 12 hours of the SBC or the Evo being out, with it really varying with a few other players. We see DeWitter up there a fair bit. We see Mark Yee a bit. We see Simone up a bit, but in all fairness, I think it's fair to go off the presumption that Nguyen is going to be the most popular Evo and the most butchered player's name this week. So as a result of him being the most popular Evo, we basically then have to go and look at his card and see, okay, well, what players is he going to affect? And he's going to affect players that can go and play in the cam, and players who can go and fit in the right wing. More likely than not, but it's going to be Premier League players who can play in cam and right wing. So this is basically the players we have it affecting the most. I'd imagine until maybe next Friday, I don't think it'll affect it too much. But I think as of next Friday, especially when we expect to get that next massive boost, I think players who are about 1.5 million coins and below can be tarnished. So I'm not really expecting it probably replacing Cole Palmer as much. But if we go and scroll down a little bit more, I definitely think it can be affecting this Phil Foden. Easily can be affecting this Kevin De Bruyne right here. If we go down there, Martinelli, I don't think you've got too much to worry about because I do think he's predominantly played on the left. This Salah I can definitely see being affected. So do keep an eye out if you do have cams and right wings, especially that of the Prem under 1.5 million, especially under a million, especially even more so under 500k, because I can see a lot of those players getting replaced with the likes of Noweri. Another reason that cams and right wings are looking quite ropey is not just the Evo. It's also an SBC we got yesterday. We got ourselves the George Best SBC. A little bit in homage, I guess, of his Team of the Year card that was extremely popular last year, who could also play left wing, right wing, and cam. Although a really weird thing about this card is it plays cam, but he's got incisive, but he's got 84 passing, which is just a bit sad. But I mean, obviously, incisive pass, very, very popular. Tactical, very, very popular playstyle. Plus some very popular minor playstyles and great position utility. Right there, on the likes of George Best. Other SBCs we got yesterday that were very popular, Mbappe. But Mbappe's one was really, really weird because this Mbappe, there's like there's markets for this Mbappe and there's markets not for this Mbappe. Such as those that don't have the fodder definitely didn't fancy the Mbappe. And because they didn't fancy it, he went from 1 million up there to 1.8 million. This is something I did say would happen earlier in the week. I said that the POT Mbappe is likely to be 2-3 million coins, and as a result of being 2-3 million coins, we should see the gold card rebounding, and well, we saw it happening there. But yeah, we even saw the total rush card rebound from 2.2 up there to 2.6. So it's really interesting because you'd imagine with those rises, surely that means people aren't doing Mbappe. No, there are other things that would heavily hint towards Mbappe being done. Like I referenced in the beginning of the video, we recommended going and buying 90s at 33 and they went up to 47. That's because even though there is a group of people, I guess, who have the coins who aren't doing this Mbappe, there's another group of people, and those that have the SBC fodder, who are doing Mbappe. And it is really obvious that there is this split, because if we go and see how fodder reacted yesterday, we can see 87s go from 8k all the way up to 9.8. They're still rising. We see 88s went from 11k up there to 15k. They're still holding / rising. We can see 89s went from 19k up there to 27k. They're literally still holding and rising. We can see 90s went from 34 up to 45. They're still rising. We can see 91s went from 67 up there to 93. They've calmed down a little bit now, especially the ones in packs. We saw 94 Burger go from 107 up there to 162. So, you know, we saw some insane rises. And one of the reasons we did see that insane rise is if we go and look at, let's say, some of the most expensive SBCs up into Mbappe, and we go and see, okay, well, how did EA, make the SBCs expensive? Let's go to Lothar Matthäus. We can see that they just required loads and loads of 89 red squads. They required 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So rather than going higher than 89, they went, screw it, we'll go and require loads of 89s. But Mbappe went and required 390s. And because there was 390s, that puts a lot more pressure on buying a much smaller group of players. There's probably about 15, 20, 89s that will help you go and build the SBC. But as soon as you want 90 rated or above, there is generally a pool of like 15 players, and probably even like 6 of those who are good value for money before it gets insane. And that's why we've seen the likes of Burger Gob. That's the reason we've seen the likes of Kane Gob, is that even though there is a group of people who look at that Mbappe, and me included, and go, God, that's abysmal value for money. There's a group of people that, because of that 20 times 82, they have so much fodder in their SBC storage that they've gone, well, I've got 1 million coins of fodder. Might as well put that in and spend 3.5 million completing the rest, and maybe they got 2 million coins worth of fodder. So that's why all this high rated fodder has gone up, despite this Mbappe looking exceptionally bad value for money. Now, the nice thing about the Mbappe, I guess, is that he will probably run you to a team of the season. But yeah, I do think it is a bit crazy. We also didn't really see too much market implication in terms of stuff dropping because of that Mbappe, or even because of the best. What are we going to go and talk about now? I think we'll talk about the Team of the Years, because I think this is quite relevant. So all this week, when people have asked me, oh, Dan, when should I go and buy or sell Team of the Years, and will they rise out of packs? My honest answer is, I don't really know, which obviously is never overly promising because, I'm one of the most experienced people out there in terms of, seeing a lot of stuff happen with the Team of the market. I've been doing this since I was 13 years old and now I'm like 26. So I've seen so much, but the reality is we haven't seen this much supply on Team of the Years for probably like 6-7 years. And obviously the game has come on so much in the last 6-7 years. You know, we've had like FUT champs, we've got SBCs, we've got EVOs. There's so much, you know, promo card. You go and look at promo cards 6-7 years ago, it kind of just created its own new trend this year. So as a result, creating its own new trend, especially if I'm recommending as an investment, I can't recommend you stuff with much certainty because it's just such a different trend. So you know, when people ask me what should I do, I said just hold off. You know, invest in Team of the Weeks, invest in your fodder. And Team Weeks and fodder did really well. So you know, happy days with that. But let's have a look how these Team Years went and reacted. So what I did anticipate was them rising Thursday morning till pre 6 PM Friday. So basically them being supplied with div rivals, rising up until the hype on Friday, and then I don't know what would happen after Friday 6 PM. But let's have a little look what happened. So Nico Williams, like I said in the hype, got up there to 160. He actually ended up at 170, and he's actually now up to about 175. So he's actually, I guess, risen out of packs, but I'm not confident he's risen to the extent where he's, you know, just going to bang and bang and bang out of packs. But if we go and look at a mid-tier Team Year Honorable Mention of Verts, we can see he was about 100, before he went out of packs, he was about 390. But actually, since being out of packs, he's still 390. Now, you can definitely say his demand has been hindered by the likes of the Noene and, what's he called? And the likes of Best, but yeah, not great there. We go and look at Valverde, same sort of thing, you know, he peaked up there 1.18, and since then he's down about 100k. So he's actually dropped out of packs. I thought that's interesting. Well, let's go and check out Team of the Years. Maybe Team of the Years have held better. And we go look at Grimaldo, and again, the same sort of thing here. Peaks before he goes out of packs at 1.14, and now he's down to about 1 million. So he's dropped 140k out of packs. Cole Palmer, again, he rose all the way up there to 2.2, and he's back down there to 1.9. Definitely not being helped by George Best being played in right wing and cam, and Palmer being played in right wing and cam. Look at Vinicius Jr. before he went out of packs, 11 million and 80. He's down 700k since. So again, finally, I was like, okay, well, what about the Team Year icons? And again, we look at Coleman, a cheap player. Pete's up there, kind of just before he went out of packs at 350, is back down now. And Roberto Carlos, Pete's up there. He actually had a second wave of being bought after, but 1.25, he's down about 100k right now. And even super expensive players like Eusebio peaked just before he went out of packs at 4.3 million and is now 4 million. So what does this mean for the longevity of Team of the Years? Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't really think they're going to go and crash in price with future stars, because I just don't think the future star cards are good enough to go and replace the triple playstyle. I don't think the SBCs we're lead to have later this week are really good enough to go and replace the triple playstyle. So I'm not really panicking about them dropping for the next 2 weeks, if I'll be honest with you. But I also don't really think they're going to rise much out of packs. And, you know, the reason I don't think they're going to rise much, unless maybe some of those cheaper honorable mentions are link investments or whatever, is just because I think they're so supplied. I think they got so supplied with the tradable packs from that 20x82 plus pack, like the 7.5 and the double player pack, that I don't think there's going to be that big of an increase in demand for them over these 2 weeks that they're going to rise. So I don't really have them down as an investment, but I also think if you have Team Years in your team, you could probably get away with using them for the next week or two, and I think the worst case scenario, they may be down 10%. More if they're affected by SBCs and EVOs, but yeah, I don't think it's looking too bad. I don't think this promo team is looking too bad for them. For example, like Moore, I don't think is replacing the centre backs with like 80 pace and 2 play styles. Yeah, but looking at the team here, looking at the future star team, yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's the same sort of thing as always. You know, you got super cheapos and the likes of Larson, Moore that just obviously aren't that desirable, and then you got the other end of 9 million coin icon, 2 million coin icon, 3 million icon. And it's kind of obviously the same here with feature stars. You know, you don't really have too much in the middle. You've got 2.6, 1.7, 4.7, and then you've got, I'd tell you what, you don't really have many discards here. You've got 12k, 12k, and 18k. I guess there's more middle of the tier ones here, actually. You've got a bit more variety. Regarding buy these, what are these sort of trends that we're going to be able to cop onto this week? You've got your first buy time, which will be Sunday evening, Monday morning, and then selling them Tuesday evening, maybe even Wednesday midday. And then your second buy time is going to be buying them on Thursday morning with div rivals, and then selling them Saturday midday with them rising out of packs. I've got a few other things to go and cover regarding leaks. We got ourselves Victor Rourke, who is leaked to come as a World Tour card. Now this means one of two things in my opinion. One, he's just going to come out as like a generic SBC. We see this happen all the time. He also might just come out as like a generic Evo, if I can go and find my controller. Or what it could mean, because there's an interesting thing we can see. So they've got Victor Rourke coming out as an SBC, or a World Tour card, right? Again, World Tour doesn't mean it's the League SBCs. But at the beginning of the game, EA went and released Spain as the first nation. Now the interesting thing is, for the first nation, they didn't actually drop that sort of League SBC. Remember for England, for the France, we had Ligue 1 and Ligue 1 Women and Ligue 2 players go up. Then with England, we had Premier League and Championship players go up. Then with the Argentinian, we had the Argentinian League go up. Obviously, the Brazilian League isn't in FIFA because apparently it's quite corrupt, and they kept on trying to like sue EA for their rights. When I've talked to people in EA in the past, apparently they're just pretty corrupt. So what I think it might be is that I think it might be that EA is going to go down the route of La Liga. Now, of course, this is not league, this is not guaranteed, this is just speculation. So again, if they're not going to go down, or they can't require Brazilian league players, what they then might go and require is then La Liga players, because we didn't get La Liga players when Spain was needed at the beginning. So if we go and look at the clubs in the La Liga that have a lack of goal players, and aka would be decent investments, you've got the likes of Usana would be good. Leganes wouldn't be too bad. Deportivo Alvarez wouldn't be too bad. Real Valladolid would be one of the best. Rayo Vallecano wouldn't be too bad. What else? Mallorca would be very good. And is that what she wrote? And I believe Las Palmas would also be pretty decent. And then you've also got the likes of Barcelona. Barcelona wouldn't be too bad with a lot of their players. Well, Barcelona and Real Madrid wouldn't be too bad with a lot of their players being SBC fodder, but I would try and keep it to some of the cheaper teams like Las Palmas and so on. Now again, this is not guaranteed, but this is just a bit of speculation if you guys want to go and maybe club stack with some of those clubs. Worst comes worst, go and use them in marquee matchups next week or whatever. Other leagues we do have is Van Persie, and this kind of adds to the why I'm not really worried about Team of the Years. In fact, I'm not really that worried about out-of-pack promo cards this week. I think they'll be nice and cheap Sunday, Monday. I think they'll rise till Friday evening, Saturday, midday. But yeah, like players like this isn't officially Lee Van Persie. I can't see this dropping stuff on the market, not with what we've just had with Team of the Year. So yeah, not too worried there. We've also got the La Liga POTM F, and again this will come on the Monday, I think 3 PM or 5 PM. Again, not too worried about Casiedo really doing anything. And other than that, of course, we can go and do 2 Evos at the moment. So yeah, I mean that kind of has that there. Again, my kind of takes is fodder, I think, can rise till Tuesday, because I don't think it'll get supplied that heavily until Division Rival Awards. Metas, if you want them for your team, I think you can hold on to them until next Friday. Just be aware of cam, right wings, and obviously any leaks regarding Evos. And yeah, another thing I guess we didn't talk about earlier, but we also recommended buying Team of the Weeks at 20k on the Thursday we did Rivals, and then recommended selling yesterday at 5 PM. Well, yeah, they didn't say they did 20 to 29k. So even though we didn't cop onto the Team of the Year trend, I think these literally had as high of a percentage of rise, but with very low risk, which we're really happy about. But yeah, that's going to go and wrap that up. Tomorrow as well, I will be doing a stream where you guys will have the opportunity, or everyone will have the opportunity of getting a free sub and a free Patreon access to the Discord. So if that is of interest to yourself, do make sure to go and join tomorrow's stream. But yeah, that's going to go and wrap that up. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.